Happening as we speak, the Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee, it's
I'm
Friday,
glad he had to read that.
or INC, is in the middle of its third session regarding the Global Plastics Treaty.
That's right. Scientists and environmental advocates have been gathered in Nairobi, Kenya for the final session. Heather McTeer Toney is the executive director of Beyond Petrochemicals, joining us with the latest. Love every time we get to talk to you, Heather. So we want to start from square one. What is the Global Plastics Treaty and how can people benefit from it?
Yes, well, thanks so much. I mean, the Global Plastics Treaty, or INC, this is three. This is a convening of governments from around the world to discuss how we can reduce plastic pollution and plastic production and really have a greater impact on our environment, both human health and reducing all of this pollution on our planet. So it's important that this conversation has been not only continuing, but it's been a fruitful conversation. And this particular one is in Nairobi, Kenya. We just made it back ourselves about a day ago. And there are two more that are planned, hopefully through the end of 2024. We're able to come to a legally binding international treaty that will help us determine how we handle plastics in the future.
Let's talk about this because this kind of meeting was held over the past 4 days there. And plastics, again, all of us are users and consumers of plastics, but they're hitting different countries in different levels. You got coastal countries versus landlocked countries. You know, there's so much plastic in our oceans nowadays.
Absolutely. And we have to remember, petrochemicals are the building blocks for plastic production. That's why we talk about petrochemicals, because you're right. The most common product is made from petrochemicals is actually plastic. And there's no place on earth that's not touched by plastics or petrochemical pollution. And they're toxic throughout their entire life cycle. So it's not just the mounds of garbage that you see standing on beaches and storm drains, but also the impacts to people who live near plants that create the plastic or melt the plastic or burn it. They also have a number of health issues and problems. So by discussing this in a global way, we're looking at how do we reduce this impact and protect our environment and protect human health at the same time.
So Heather, it's all great to have a treaty and to talk about this and to make plans, but is there some way that they can actually enforce this? Like, hey, you're not doing what you said you're going to do, and now these are the repercussions of that.
So that's the point where we are at today. So we're on they've wrapped up day 4 of these conversations, and there are a couple of key takeaways. One of the key takeaways is that we do have some member countries that would prefer to have what's called a national way that we are determining what the contributions are. It's very much like the Paris Agreement. Based upon each nation, they decide how they're going to follow through with what the treaty says. That creates some difficulty because it means you may have some nations that decide they don't want to or have as robust a policy as agreed upon on the international level. But there's still good news. The good news is that there are more and more countries that understand and are talking about the significance of having a unilateral, major, legally binding treaty. And this is really important for us, countries that are increasing the conversation about making sure that hazardous substances and chemicals of concern, that those are also included in this treaty.
That's great.
So I think it puts us in a good position. And to follow up and keep up with this, you should look for Break Free from Plastics. They have a wonderful running thread of what's happening, what's going on, so that we're all aware of what's taking place in Kenya.
Oh, great.
Looking good for the future as well. That's Heather McTeer Toney, Executive Director of Beyond Petrochemicals. Thanks so much for that update.